on an all-new Marana.
Really? Hey, Ramson, Bernadetta from Newfoundland follows you on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She does.
I get to meet her.
She's so excited that you're here. And now, you're so sweet. Okay, planning a layout of a bedroom can be tricky. Here's how Ramson, who you love, helped one of his clients. Let's watch.
My clients were really stuck trying to redesign their master suite. The rooms had a lot of challenges, but together we managed to overcome all of them. One of the first problems I had is that this bedroom was narrow and long and lacking in storage. So my solution was to cut it off on one end, shorten it a little bit, and create a walk-in closet. Another challenge I had, this back wall is full of windows. We had to close a few off over there to make the walk-in closet work. And then the other question was, where do we put the bed? That's the perfect wall, but we had windows. I chose to create custom panels and make it look like we've got 2 windows and a nice little center section for the bed. And the rest of the texture and warmth comes from the woven striated wallpaper that we put on the walls. I've got a gorgeous vignette back there that balances the room really well. On this wall, we've got some added storage. I had a little alcove. That storage walks you and leads you nicely into the walk-in closet. The little bit of space that I stole from the master bedroom was just enough to create the perfect walk-in closet. And as you walk in, there's a little bit of wall space. And on that wall, I put a wallpaper. It has the same pattern as the master bedroom wallpaper, but it's a darker version. The rest of the walls are all cabinetry, which is what you need, plenty of storage. At the end, we've got a full-length mirror. Now, that mirror does 2 things. One, it's very practical when you're getting dressed. Second, creates a lot of depth to this space. It makes it feel bigger. I used the original footprint in this master ensuite, but I gutted it out and completely redid the space. Now, that dark walnut carries through in here in the vanity, as you can see. It's a beautiful furniture piece, and I wanted that feel in here. It's furniture-like because it's off the floors. Now, you'll notice this dark walnut is on the outside, but it's also dark on the inside. Lots of storage space because it's all drawers. Quartz countertop offers plenty of durability, and above we've got 2 frame mirrors. We've got different textures on the walls as well. Wallpaper here, and then tile on the rest of the walls. And in between the center portion, we've got a piece of glass. It's back painted, and it houses a TV behind. It's perfectly placed because you can get a view from the bathtub, from the shower, and even from the vanity. I used a 6-foot tub. Now, a 6-foot tub can be pretty ominous in a room, and it can show itself up too much. So I undermounted that under a piece of quartz, and it hides it a little bit, but gives you all the benefits of a large tub. And this quartz is different than what I used on the countertop. Don't be afraid to mix things up. Carries through nicely into a bench into the shower. It's got no threshold, it's easy access, and it slopes into a center drain. And when you look at that drain, you don't even see it. I love concealing things. Now, you'll notice we used several different materials in here, but I used the same tile on the floor and I carried it up on the wall. It creates a beautiful continuity. The rest of the materials really work in harmony. They create a beautiful balance in here, and it makes it feel so warm and inviting. We started out with an awkward room. With a little bit of collaboration, I absolutely love where we've ended up.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk with Ramson, who Bernadetta loves. And we're going to talk about mirrors, and
Yes.
mirrors are key in any room.
Bathrooms.
Everything. But the thing is, in the bathroom, sometimes people don't put them up in the right way, right?
Yeah,
it's that one
or
solid sheet of mirror.
You know, like Jane said,
Yeah.
you kind of get used to doing things one way, or we've taught that way as we grow up, and we just don't change. So one of the ways I wanted to bring that message across is a powder room. So you get a powder room, and often you put a mirror right over the pedestal,
which
right?
seems sensible.
You go, that's where the pedestal is.
Yeah,
So
right.
to me, what that does is it compartmentalizes a small room. The room's small to begin with, so I put a tape here to say that's where the wall would be.
Okay.
Imaginary wall, okay?
Sure.
So it'd be like 5 by 5. You put a mirror here, that basically says to you, you have to stand here. This is the vanity, excuse my back, and this is the toilet. So to me, it's like, why go with those rules? Why not break the rules? Take that off and go with something a little bit more elaborate to make the room feel bigger. So if you were to do that and put a mirror this size in over top of the entire
Doesn't that
thing,
look nicer?
and all of a sudden you've got a mirror that feels a lot bigger, opens the space up, it goes end to end, doesn't tell you that you have to stand here. You're walking within the space and the mirror's there.
Does it make the room feel bigger?
Absolutely. It just creates a lot more reflection. It makes it feel a lot more open.
That's a good point, too, because here we, just a beautiful pendant light up there, but that would even show up even more.
Right. So you notice I put that centered to this mirror. So now it's centered to the room.
Okay.
And it's not really confining you to the vanity.
Right.
And in a powder room, you're not really shaving.
Right.
Exactly, right? Or you do makeup or anything like that. So really, the light can be a little bit more general, and it doesn't need to be so task-oriented.
Very good. Okay.
Right? So that's the first lesson. The second lesson is, well, what do you put there for a mirror? If you can get a small or a mirror that's, pre-done already from a store, that's most economical. So you go to any kind of home improvement store or a home store or decor store and buy a mirror, that's great. But sometimes you can't find the exact size you need. So you can go and get one made. It's not that difficult. You go to a frame shop, you can go very simple or you can go more elaborate.
Oh,
and our mirror fell. So make sure you get somebody good to install it. So let's put that down. And the point is, when you create your own frames, you have the opportunity to add elements that tie in the room. So if you were to use a frame like this, for instance, it's a simple frame. This is all in one frame all together. It's got a little silver detail. That'll pick up maybe on the faucet. Start to tie elements in the room, right? If you can't find something like that, you want something a little more elegant, sophisticated, you go with that, but you take that and you add a fillet. So if I add this little fillet, and if I had like brushed nickel faucets, that would pick up on that. And all of a sudden it becomes a little bit of an elegant look. You want something rustic, you go with this beautiful wood frame. But if you want to, again, add an element to it, you put this in to pick up on the faucets or any of the metals in the room. So you start to see that now you don't have the limitations with size. You don't have the limitations with materials, and you can do that. Another element that you can add into these spaces, because powder rooms and small bathrooms don't have a lot of storage space, you can go into the wall in a hidden way. So Roburn makes a lot of beautiful medicine cabinets. This is a Kohler company. And I love their medicine cabinets because once you open it up, there's a whole world of accessories in there, right? So you got this medicine cabinet with built-in plugs, USB chargers. You've got a mirror that moves around. It's on a magnet. You've got this magnetic bar to hold accessories like nail clippers and tweezers and things like that. So all of a sudden you got this space that's organized. You can put anything in here. What I love about this is we build these into the wall, and then we'll take a frame and we'll frame around it, and we'll make it look like a regular mirror, but then the door is open. So all of a sudden it doesn't look like a regular bathroom. It's built in,
so nice.
And it offers a lot of extended storage inside.
Is this what potentially is lighter?
So these are lights.
They're lights.
So it's got a little touch dimmer at the bottom. That's a little touch dimmer. So it's got lights on the inside as well. So when you look here, there's lights here as well. So all of a sudden you've got all these accessories built into one mirror cabinet, right?
Is that like a times 12?
Maybe that one there, but
Because that would be scary.
that's scary. You don't want that. You don't want that. I think 5 times is enough, right?
No, I like 7 to 8.
I mean, 10 years ago, I was okay with 2 times. Or 5 times, but now it's like 2 times is enough now. I don't want to see any more than that.
Plus a filter. Thank you very much. Okay, so
let's talk about economy. I sometimes, simple and less is more for me. So a simple mirror on the wall, you see this and you go, well, that's kind of boring. I don't think so. I take a room like this and I go, okay, you know what? I put a mirror like this, but if I float it off the wall so it has the impression of it floating, that all of a sudden makes it just enough. So what I do is I take a piece of MDF. I just went to Home Depot. I bought a piece of MDF. I siliconed it to the back. But before I did, I cut it on a 45-degree miter. Okay? So it's a bevel. It's angled. The second piece that came off of this, I screwed to the wall. So all of a sudden, these now fit together. So once you glue that on, this sits on there, and you can slide it, adjust it sideways.
Very nice.
All of a sudden, you got this mirror that floats off. Imagine a bigger one that's maybe got about a 3-inch border all the way around. That would look stunning in a space, and it's very economical. And that's a total DIY. The instructions are on maryland.ca. And then lastly, I like to group things. So you get a mirror like this, and you group them together to create a larger mirror. So I'll show you an image here of a powder room where we group 9 pieces on the wall, and in between all the joints, there's a rosette. Okay, so that adds
nice.
an element of elegance to it. It creates that large panel of mirror in a small space. It creates a lot of reflection,
That's
so the finishes
beautiful.
reflect on there. The chandelier reflects on there, so all of a sudden you get this grandness to this space, to
Wow.
a small space. And then lastly, if you're talking frame mirrors, I like to group those as well. So that's another element where I took above this tub, I grouped 9 mirrors that were individually framed. So when you look at the close-up, which is in this area here, you'll see the detail on the frame, and it's a beautiful frame. It's got a lot of beautiful detail.
Pretty.
So, but you see there's 4 of them abutting each other.
Right.
So I did a beveled mirror, so all of a sudden, again, another level of elegance. that
You
can
may
add
not
to
like what's coming out of the tub. But you'll like the
it. Again,
framer on the tub.
15 years ago, I'd be okay with that in my bathroom.
But there you go. So
Yeah.
the thing is, just don't, getting back to the powder room, take a look at your powder room if you've got one and say, you know, I can really dress that up a little bit
Right.
more. Yeah.
Throw the rules away
Yeah.
and say, what would I
Yeah.
do to make this space amazing without looking at all the old rules?
You better go give Bernadette a hug, okay?
I will do that.
Okay, okay. We're going to
On
take
my
a break.
way.
He's on his way. Okay, we'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us.
Coming up, Chef Ned Bell is giving you his guide to dishing up the perfect pasta for dinner tonight.